So we were just talking about emotions when it comes to money and how your emotional state and your mindset within that emotional state will determine your modes of being and your relationship to money. And Jesus, you mentioned how we romanticize like thievery and greed in our current society. Do you want to expand upon that a little bit?
Yeah, I noticed that with it's a pop cultural thing. Like we in movies, like look at Scarface. Scarface is like the perfect example of like romanticizing like crime and thievery and money and like and if you really kind of think about it, man, wouldn't it be super cool for just a split second when you think about it to like have so much money you don't even know how to launder anymore? Like you're like, damn, like I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this. It's kind
Like
it's
Heisenberg from Breaking Bad.
yeah. Yeah. Something like that because there's we pedestal I think wow, now that that gave me an idea that we pedestalize money so much because of the stuff we see like in movies that we want to get to that point somewhere in our at some point in our lives we want to get to that point that we could actually like have like the money to like tell people to like right after you go away, like I don't need you, I don't. So but in romanticizing all the money and I guess the thievery, we kind of lose sight of like basically how to do it in a way that doesn't destroy us in the process. Because if you notice, every single character that is portrayed in movies like that, it always loses themselves. It's never moral. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that was it was several movies you watched. I know you and I share in common Scarface, but do you recall? Have actually better yet, have you ever seen anybody in your life that has happened to?
Well, I haven't seen any cocaine dealers, if that's what you're asking.
Wow. Not
I
like that.
mean, I have seen people do drug deals in my family, but it wasn't cocaine specifically. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've seen people that don't really manage their money to the degree in which it hinders their ability to relate to other people well, I suppose. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so well then, so you've seen money change people then? Like you could see the like how like their obsession with it can like basically just like yes make people mistreat other people like and it's crazy because I've seen it for like like $1 or $2 pay raises where people kind of like get a more puffed up chest. You see, they stand like, bro, chill. Like
Yeah.
that's like I've seen it before. So it's just so like it's tough because it's funny how money changes us very quickly. Like our it makes our emotions shift because I remember when I used to trade options, like I would get excited. Like there was times where I had like $2,000 in a day. I'm like, oh my god, like I
Mhm.
just locked in 2 grand in like 5 minutes. Like people do this on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's like my the thoughts that are going through my head, and then I started thinking about like the people that are trading millions of dollars like on the open market. Like I'm just
Yeah.
doing like puts and calls with like 200, $300, and I'm like these people are trading millions.
Yeah, it puts things into perspective. And I mean, that's what's so interesting going on with Bitcoin right now with the bull market that we're seeing, since October 6th or 7th, really. October 10th was really the main dip. And ever since then, things really haven't been going too hot. Um, but is it though? I mean, you see the way that people are emotionally are reacting online to Bitcoin, and the people that know it, the people that believe in it, they're buying more. And the people that are just kind of the normies that, and I really don't like using that term because it's become such a derogatory term, but the normies that are using, trying to get Bitcoin rich, they're trying to use the Bitcoin to sell it and all that, and they're just selling at this point because they don't believe in it, but they're going to have the same reaction and response to now in the future that they do now. Like, why didn't I buy at 93,000 or 94,000 or whatever it is at right now? Because it's hit the lowest it's been in like 180 days allegedly. So that's a long time for it to hit its new low, but also it's still, even with the like 30,000 decrease in Bitcoin over the last couple months, uh, Bitcoin is still got overall, 12 years ago or so, it was at 330 bucks. So long term, it's still quite a great investment, even though it's only at 93 or $4,000 right now. But the emotional response that people have to Bitcoin is interesting as well. Uh, it, it goes to show just how, mm, well, really ungrateful for the technology, I think. I don't think people understand the technology. They don't understand that it's a it's not even a technology. I don't think that Bitcoin was something that it was created. I think it was discovered, mathematically speaking.
But that's quite a way to put it. My God, imagine because that shifts the entire like the entire dynamic and story and idea behind Bitcoin. Because wow, that's really cool, actually. I like you could, oh
Yeah,
man, that's sick.
how are you seeing it then?
Because it's in a sense it I say this. Let me see if I can find a way to formulate that because if oh my god, because if it was created, then it would be susceptible to the same exact at the end of all of this would be susceptible to the exact same things that the fiat system is like susceptible to.
Mhm.
Eventually somebody will get will start doing it like, oh yeah, like the US government does. Yeah, it's backed by the US government, whatever that means, right? But if it's discovered, that means that it always has been in there as a principle, and now this is just the form of that principle manifesting out, which is math.
Yes. I
And
mean,
that's why I was like
yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
said it.
look at silver and gold. We didn't create those. We discovered them. It's the same thing, just a different realm. And I think that's the weirdness of it all, to some degree, is that we're seeing something that is just completely, volatile. It's like, well, yeah, of course it's volatile. It's something that's completely free. Like, what? You don't think something completely free is going to be volatile? Uh, yeah, I mean, and am I saying to go all in on Bitcoin? No, I'm just saying that, understand it a little bit. Of course, diversify assets, but these people that are emotionally responsive to it, not even responsive, reactive, you can tell the way that they are relating to money based off of how they're reacting to this kind of a thing.
I was gonna ask you, would you say that because I know you like you're a very open-minded person, would you say that that helped you just to look at Bitcoin? Because like I've noticed that people like yeah they talk about being very like open to new ideas and open to possibilities, but like that's all just kind of to like make themselves look good. So like I'm saying that because it's more so like it's just the way you embody that open mindedness. Like I don't know anybody like that personally. So I'm basically saying, do you think that it was like a good thing that you approached it like that instead of trying to like how do I say it's like try to see what you can get out of it as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to ask. Like because like you were more open to seeing like how it would not develop, but how it plays out rather than just to see it in the immediate like moment, what can I get out of this? Like you
Mm,
were actually willing to have the relationship and open yourself up to the idea of Bitcoin rather than just like, oh, okay, no, this is like the boomer mindset where it's like, nope, no, it's not real. I can't touch it. Nope, I don't want it. Nope, nope, nope. That's a scam.
mm. Well, I mean, I was doing everything I could to take, kind of as Nietzsche said, a philosophical hammer. Uh, I would say I took like a financial hammer to it, for sure. I was trying everything, and like, okay, is this some secret operative? Is Satoshi Nakamoto really Jeffrey Epstein? Like, is that going to be is that going to be the gotcha? You know, Satoshi Nakamoto is actually this guy, because we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, and to some degree, uh, depending on how you look at it, that's a really terrible thing, and that's a great thing. It depends on your relationship also to Bitcoin as well. It's not just money, it's also um, your relationship to, I would say, spiritual security. Yeah, yeah. It's like your relationship to spiritual security, because I took a financial hammer to it and I was like, okay, well, uh, what if it's created by the Saturnians? What if it's created by these people that worship Kronos, right? Because for anybody that doesn't know, the elites are Saturnians and they're Saturnists. Okay, they basically worship these false gods and goddesses, and of course we follow Jesus Christ, and we're not trying to push that on anybody, but it's no coincidence to me that the most people that are involved with Bitcoin are also people who follow Christ. That's a statistical fact. That's not like it's not what I think. That's literally what the literature demonstrates. So I would say also, because of me following Christ and just having this willingness to be wrong, really, because you kind of have to approach knowledge with a sense of humility. Otherwise, you're gonna, I mean, you're gonna just write off things that um, don't need to be written off. And I never did really write off Bitcoin per se, the way that the boomers do, but I definitely was more like vetting it spiritually as well as financially. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. I was like a because you introduced me to the idea of like Bitcoin as a thing, but when I see when you we started talking about Michael Saylor and I heard him describe it, I was like, wait a second. It like the mere contrast against the fiat system versus what Bitcoin showed, it was like that's all I need. Like I was like, wait a
Yeah.
second. I'm not trapped in this cage. I don't have to sit here and participate in all this stuff and all this nonsense. Well, reasonably speaking, obviously, because we still have to kind of navigate through the landscape of fiat, even just to like it's it was just very cool. I even had I was talking to my dad about this because he was questioning. He's like, "Well, why are you buying silver? Like, well, what the person who's like or buying any type of metals wouldn't it make sense for them to keep it and like do for them to keep it and instead of selling it to you?" I'm like, well, you still have to have transaction fees. You can't just like kind of go into Walmart and it's like here's a piece of silver. I'm buying these groceries. They're gonna tell you, sir, we don't accept that form of currency here.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
and it's kind of like that and see and it's in those back and forths that a lot of energy gets lost too. That's something that we have to keep in mind and see. That's what a lot of it's just so weird because all these different transactional fees that and it's with everything. There's always fees. There's fees for everything in the freaking fiat system. Jesus Christ, the tax for the tax for the tax about this about that. You get taxed to death, and it's kind of like what I like the most about like Bitcoin was that it put me to start thinking about those things so that I never thought there was an exit strategy here at all. Like in the system, it's like I was still trying to like I believe that I was going to find a way to like make things better for myself, and I believe that that no matter how long it took, I would find something. And it's crazy that I may inevitably find it in something that I can't even see or touch.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because like that's an argument that a lot of like the boomers, for example, uh, have about Bitcoin. Well, I can't see it, or like it's just numbers on a screen. It's like, is it though? Like, is it just numbers on a screen? Uh, I don't think exactly it is. Like, I mean, now that you've done a bit more research on it, like, what would you say Bitcoin, if it had a tangible form, like, what is it exactly?
Hmm. I would say like if Bitcoin had a tangible form, I think it would be you as an individual, because the knowledge in and of itself transforms you. Like
Hmm.
now like you stand you are the product, because I was thinking about it when you were mentioning about gold and silver. It is a digital element. It
Yeah.
can it cannot it cannot be duplicated. It cannot be destroyed. There's only certain quantities of it. Like it's a digital element.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Michael Saylor says when he says that it's digital gold. Like, I think he means that.
No, I mean that, yes, but I'm talking. I'm talking. What I know. Oh, he said that, but I mean it like the elements basically, because you and I have made the distinction of like there's Bitcoin and then there's cryptocurrencies. That's like
Yeah.
over here, but Bitcoin is Bitcoin.
Yeah, because there's literally a finite number that you can mine, which, and that's the thing, right? Like, well, if there's a finite number, but it's not tangible, well, then how is there a finite number? Like, it has to be tangible to some degree. Uh, it has to be something like, I mean, it's interesting that we see fiat as something tangible when it's just, you know, created. Uh, yeah, it's and it's not part of the creation that God had originally,
Yeah.
technically speaking. Uh, but we still see fiat as, tangible. Isn't that strange? I mean, what do you mean though when you say that you're the you're the asset? Like the knowledge of it changes you.
Because I'm following along the lines of how you said Bitcoin was a psychedelic.
Oh yeah.
That it reveals it reveals to you things that you didn't like you knew it but you couldn't describe it. And now with the contrast of having Bitcoin and then understanding the fiat system, now you really understand how broken everything is. And there is no way to for your psychology not to change, and for your emotions not to change in relation to these things. If anything, you probably might get angry, but when I get angry, I get focused. I'm like, all right, now let's go now. Like I'm gonna find the solution to this stuff. That's why I'm saying you become the asset, and you become basically like, ooh, it's like, because I was I was gonna say the word testimonial, but no, like, but you become like you become a product of it, but not in a bad way. Like you've completely shifted. You have a better understanding of finances. Like in studying Bitcoin, I realized that I don't want things for the simple fact that I don't want to keep participating in the fiat system. I don't want to go like. If I would have entertained, for example, potentially financing something, I'm like, ugh. Like before, I would have,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm saying that because it's intangible, you have to like you're the only way you're the only way it can be seen as tangible. It has to come through you. Like right, via your psychology, via your emotional state, via your actions and the way you conduct yourself, and that way you can actually show people how Bitcoin can be a viable option. Because the only thing I see, the only issue with Bitcoin is its volatility. Once we can stabilize it and make sure that it's kind of like that's it. Like what else are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Like at that point, fiat's completely out. But like you said, it's free.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, there's been speculation on uh, can AI hack into accounts? Let's say once the fiat system collapses, because it's inevitable. It's just a matter of
Yes.
when. Uh, when that happens, can AI hack into these accounts? Uh, because Bitcoin in of itself is like pseudo anonymous. It's not completely anonymous, but it's pseudo anonymous. So there are like you can track what wallet is sending money to what wallet, but you don't know obviously the names of those persons or who exactly own. Like you just have the number of the types of transactions going in and out of that wallet number. So there is speculation that AI could potentially hack exchanges with the use of just analyzing who's going to what, how's going to where. I mean, this is one of the reasons why cold storage is so important, is because the likelihood of that happening is practically zero. That is, if you have like a proper cold storage wallet and it's not tampered with. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the volatility is the biggest liability to this asset, you might say. And
Yeah.
apart from the speculation of what could be coming, because there is the speculation of like, well, let's say that the AI could track who's going to what. Well, whoever owns this Bitcoin wallet address, we're going to round them up because they're basically escaping the fiat system, right? So because you don't technically have to pay taxes unless you take out the money for fiat uh, from an exchange or anything like that. But if you just transfer it through the exchange is going to charge you fees, which is how they make their money. And you talked about fees just earlier, but
Yeah.
because before the exchanges, the only way that you were able to actually acquire Bitcoin was through software on your laptop or computer. I mean, I remember my my college roommate in my dorm. He had his mining of Bitcoin, and he didn't even he had like zero point zero 0.01 Bitcoin or something like that. But after like a long time of just running the program, just mining it, mining it, and I didn't really understand what he was doing, but he was a computer engineer and very fascinating as far as like what he was doing, but I didn't understand it at the time. And I don't know exactly what he ended up doing with his Bitcoin, but I do know that he acquired some through that piece of technology. But that was what was going on before the exchanges.
Hmm. No, I'm trying to think because in between, so because the only reason why they can charge you taxes is because it comes in as income.
Correct.
Yeah, now it's income. It's coming into you, and then so as far as hacking, do you think that at some point, like, what's the possibility of that even happening? It'd have to be like obviously depends on how skilled or advanced the AI is to get into something like that. Because all these places have to be severely like everything has to be encrypted to a point where it's like nobody can pull anything out. But see, this is where it gets kind of like scary because this is like outside of like my area of like expertise. Like I don't really know like how great like what security measures they have in place, how far as because yeah, like we have Chat GPT, but there's AI that freaking like they could do if my God, like I'm surprised 5 years from now, we might not even have people acting anymore with
Yeah.
how good it's getting. So it's
Well, and I mean, if we have access to ChatGPT and ChatGPT is what it is, imagine
yeah,
like, come on now, like, can only imagine the types of AI that the government or any other types of these industries have.
yeah. My God, we talk about the government. I talk about
Yeah,
oh man,
but
but
as far
I
as
don't
like,
know.
but as far as like your question, like, what exactly, like, what's the likelihood of that? It's
Yeah,
it's difficult to say because I don't know it depends on the computational power of the AI. Effectively. Like that's
yeah.
I don't want to be reductionist about it, but that's kind of the reductionist viewpoint.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. It really is. It just it depends on how advanced the technology is. So I guess in the sense to like mitigate that would be to like right diversify, right, buy different things and like keep your cold storage wallet, which that's like you said, make sure it's not tampered with because that's like it's something you don't even think about because yo, I just bought it off of Amazon. It's fine. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
you're putting your money in there. Like,
yeah. Well, and yeah, definitely don't buy it off of Amazon or anything like that or eBay or whatever. Buy it straight from the manufacturer, of course. And yeah, I mean, if you have your money on an exchange, uh, good luck with your money there because anything can happen on the exchange. I mean, the exchange itself could get hacked. I don't know, like the
yeah,
exchange itself could get hacked, or the exchange could just opt out of the being an exchange or something. Like it's just not a good idea to keep your money on an exchange anyway. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, you could potentially like once you get the uh, hardware cold storage wallet, you can purchase directly from the cold storage device once it's plugged in and all that. So that's a possibility. You actually don't even
Oh,
need to have it plugged in to receive the Bitcoin.
wow, I didn't know that. See, this is the cool stuff because, like I said, I'm not. I'm new to it, like the like all of this. You've done a lot more research on this stuff than I have, but
Mhm.
because I'm just more so soaking in like right. I'm kind of baby stepping myself into like actually like buying different things like metals and like exploring options like that. But you really have done your like your homework because I didn't know you could like it didn't have to be plugged in to receive anything. Like, and that's cool. The fact that so it doesn't have to be powered effectively to receive anything into your cold
No,
storage wallet, or is
yeah. So the cold storage wallet itself is like it's the keys to the vault and like where the vault is also kept to some degree. Uh, like let's say you have a treasure chest, but you have like a digital treasure chest. Um, I have a treasure, which is like one of the reasons I was thinking about treasure chest. Um, I'm now that I think about it, they probably did a play on words there um, with treasure and treasure. But yeah, I mean, once you set up the treasure, for example, or like a decent or whatever kind of cold storage you have, once you set it up, specifically with the treasure anyway, it's there's a like literally like I can like there's a software suite right now that I'm looking at.
Mhm.
Like I have that piece of software. Now I can't send any money anywhere until it's plugged in, but I can receive it. So that's a safeguard in of itself, right?
Oh
So
my god.
yeah, so that's what's cool. Like if your computer or whatever gets hacked or like logged in, like they can't send anything. Like you're safe. So
Oh, that's sick.
I know. So it's like it's a digital treasure box and treasure chest, a treasure. It's a treasure chest, and so yeah, I mean it's very simple, very straightforward. It's brilliant technology, and it's very safe. It's very effective, and yeah, I mean it's very simple. It's really not as complex as it kind of can seem like sometimes, and I think this is one of the reasons why. I mean, you're financially responsible enough to where you can be open-minded to these other things even though you don't understand it. And I think that in of itself is going to be an asset also in of itself for you because as you said, it's the knowledge that you have about these things that makes it like valuable for you. Uh, yes, it's a digital asset. It's not completely tangible in the sense that yeah, you can't really hold it, but it is tangible, like in the ether, which
Yeah.
which holy moly, um, which is just very interesting because that means that there's whoa. there's like limited space in spacelessness. That's kind of freaky to think about, and that's kind of a spiritual, philosophical undertone.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
but yeah, that's hmm.
you see, this is where it gets cool. Like it just talking about it, everything reshapes itself, and that's what makes it that's enough for me. Like
Yeah.
now if you tell me that that I can use it to get a break away from everything. Like even now, you said the other brand decent. Like I just thought decentralized. I was like,
Oh yeah,
so
duh.
I was like, oh shit. So like and it oh god, it just like it's so cool because in and of itself, like you said, the being financially responsible is a thing because you kind of frame it like through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You really do need that safety. Like you need to be good. Let's be. I am gonna be more so, I guess, honest. Like you need to be stable in fiat terms.
Yes.
That's something you need to do because we're not gonna quote unquote like defeat the fiat system from a position of weakness. You need to be positioned properly. You need to be positioned responsibly, so that way you can be open to these ideas. Because you have to be able to put some skin in the game. But the skin in the game you're gonna put can't be the skin off your back. You got to be able to like play a little bit. That's why like with one of the members in the RCA, how he always talks about the 18-month like cash reserve because so that way you can weather all these storms because you don't know what could happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, Bitcoin could drop up to who knows what, right? And you
Yeah.
got to be fine. And
Well, I
same
mean,
thing.
yeah, I mean, with all my assets that that I'm treating with long term, such as like silver and Bitcoin, for example, I'm just acting as if like it's just there. It's
Yeah,
there. I'm not gonna sell it. I don't ever plan to sell it. Um, I only plan to accumulate more of it or just use it um, in the case of an apocalypse, which I'm not even like worried about the apocalypse per
yeah.
se because we've talked about that briefly before. But um, yeah, I'm not ever gonna sell it. I'm just treating whatever I have in fiat as like, okay, this is what I have to work with within the fiat system. Everything else is going to be everything else.
Yeah.
Now, is that the right approach? I'm not telling anybody that's like, the way. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing.
That's a way.
Yeah, it's a way. Um, Whereas with you, like, there's definitely more, yeah, fiat terms. In fiat terms, yeah, like at the 18 months and whatnot, which is definitely not a bad thing at all. That's there's definitely nothing wrong with having 18 months cash reserve. Um, but yeah, I mean, it depends on your principles. It depends on what you want to do exactly, I think, as well.
Yeah, because it really does rewire your psychology. You even approach it from a different perspective. Like, because you approach everything when you know you have money in the bank, you can like go out and play. Most people like how can I go out and play and entertain ideas of investments or opportunities, right? Both good and bad. Sometimes you can get caught up in situations like it happens to everybody where like you think it's a prudent investment, but things happen. But the positioning, like, I don't know, is that everybody likes to make things kind of negative when you start talking about like because I've seen it time and time again. Because everybody hates people who have money. They really do hate them. Like they, especially like when you work at jobs and things like that. I can think of one particular area of my job where like it's like this like I don't even know how it probably like the whole vibe, for lack of a better term, like the whole energetic pool of it is like they're always constantly at war with the people with money. Like because they think that they're entitled and like it's like this feedback loop of entitlement. Like both sides are being so entitled.
Well, why are they
And
at war exactly? Because of the entitlement?
no, because I think it's because they see the amount of peace that people come through with, and like, and also obviously some people it depends on the area, right? Because some people like more upstates, like in like New York area and stuff like that. There's just a different way of talking. Like everything's like more like there's no friendliness basically. So it's
Mm,
like it's about who can push who and who has more power than who. So sometimes you get people like that, but it's just like so that kind of sets like a tone basically, and then people start rejecting these like positioning themselves to have money. Like it's to the point where they might even self sabotage. I just thought about that, like where they resent people, rich people, so much to the point where they're like didn't even want to acquire it, and they start pursuing meaningless things.
mm.
Like, and I'm sitting here thinking in terms of this entire conversation because it's the I always struggle with this because it's like I'm oscillating around the center, but I can never speak on the center
Mm.
because like I see it all kind of it all ties in because it all has to do with your relationship to money and your positioning with money. Like it's kind of something that you can't even explain. Like either you get it or you don't sometimes. And I don't mean to like right discredit anybody who's listening or like to like minimize anything. It's just sometimes like you kind of got to go through the experience. And I know you've discussed this before because like in one of your videos you mentioned you have to pass through hell to get to paradise, and
Mhm.
you really have to like experience all of this and see what people do with money and see what people how people are why are people talking so bad about bitcoin, what is this, what is this polarization for example, and kind of start like shifting out of there. What I would say, definitely get your finances in order, be good in fiat terms, but branch out and look at other opportunities because at the end of the day, like you said, your purchasing power can be reduced by inflation. They're gonna tax the heck out of you. Like we don't win in this system at all.
Yeah, it's not designed for anybody to win except for,
No.
I mean, and even the rich people, I mean, there's tax hole like loopholes and such, but they're still in debt for a lot of them. Um,
But
yeah.
and see, I think it was one guy that I don't know if he's like legit or not. Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, like he got on a podcast and says, "Yeah, I'm 1.2 billion dollars in debt." I was like, "What?" But
1.2 billion? He said billion?
supposedly that's how much he's a billion, I think, and he's a real estate guy. But I'm just sitting there thinking, well, if you think about it, if you have billion dollars in real estate and you owe 1.2 billion, well, does it really matter?
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. Yeah. Well, and I don't know too much about, I know he's a big person in the Bitcoin space, but I don't really follow too much of what he says about Bitcoin. I don't know why, but he's always been like, for me, those hyper mainstream people, I don't,
Yeah,
it's
I know what
just,
you mean.
yeah, there's just something about them that I'm like, I'm not saying that they're bad people or persons or anything. I'm just,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. Like
Yeah,
how involved in the Saturnian system are they? That would be my question. Yeah.
uh, no, I'm glad that we like kind of that we talked about these things because it's like I didn't like you explained the cold storage wallet system to me, but it's just like I still don't understand it. I don't know. Oh, like I understand it now more so when you explained it, but when you just like when you send me the messages explaining, I'm like, okay, I think I get it. But
Mhm.
now to the point where like I even thought with the cold storage wallet in itself, like, bro, you could be anywhere in the world and you could get money sent to you. All I need to know is that address. And if I know you're in a pinch or in a trouble and you need money, that's how I send it to you with nobody finding out shit because they
Well,
wouldn't know where it's going.
and like, okay, this is a flash drive, right? I mean, the Trezor that I have is like a bit larger than this, and there's like little buttons that you can push, obviously, to like if you want to send money, you're gonna have to put in like if you want to access that money, there's literally like 25 words that you have to plug in before you get the, and so like, and these are not like just regular words, okay? These are, they're they're very like, some of them are pretty sophisticated, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, because when you're setting up the Trezor and you have that process, like, well, that's a whole thing. But just for a
Yeah.
moment though, like you can have a flash drive, you can take this anywhere in the world with you, and it is, I mean, you could probably have $10 million worth of Bitcoin on it, and nobody knows. Yeah. Whereas you can't take cash. like through the airport. You can't take like certain things through the airport. I mean, but this, imagine if
The
this was
most
my treasure, like you could take that anywhere in the world, and money is just there, uh, always available.
God, no, because I'm thinking now, because it was a quote in a book. It said, he who knows the formula for gold ceases to carry a bag of it over his shoulder," and that's exactly what just came up with this.
Mm,
Because if you understand, hey, because if this is digital gold, then that's it. You look how lightweight it is. You solved that's the biggest problem with gold, is the fact of how much it weighs and transporting it. But imagine somebody's like rummaging through your bag if you ever get like kidnapped. What is this, a remote control? And they
mm,
just throw millions of dollars over their
yeah,
shoulder
they have no
because
clue.
it.
Yeah, they'll have no.
Oh my god.
They'll want the cash that's worth way less anyway. And yeah, so it's really something. It's really something. It's different. And yeah, I mean the whole process with the Trezor is really easy. I mean, you plug it in. It has you implement those 25 words twice, and then you create a pin number, and then that's it. Like it takes like 15, 20 minutes to set it up, but the amount of security that you have behind it is it's ridiculous. I mean, there's practically no way, even if it was an AI. I mean, 25 words, like, dude, that's like
Yeah.
25 different passwords
Can
just to get,
you imagine?
yeah, just to get to the pin. I mean, and then there's the pin itself.
Oh
So,
my god.
yeah. So it's really safe and it's really secure. Even with AI, it would be ridiculously difficult. And AI can't hack the Trezor because the Trezor is a hardware. It's not a software. Whereas
True.
exchanges are software. That's it's not a hardware.
True. See, it's those little things that that like, right, because they're so tiny and minute, like in terms of words, but they completely shift my perception, because that's true. Like, like if this is a tangible thing, like what is a computer going to do to something tangible? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, right, versus with an exchange. Yeah, no. Oh, I wonder, is that what happened to, what was that one company that like got FTX that got in trouble? Like they got into like big trouble, like all the accounts closed. So like people who had money in there, like I don't know if you heard about them, like they got a massive lawsuit because like people had stuff in FTX and they couldn't take it out.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. So that was a cryptocurrency exchange. Oh, I remember that now. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah. Um, yep.
What?
That was definitely what happened. What you just described. Uh, they discovered that they couldn't transfer their funds, and it was a crypto exchange collapse. Yeah, where the guy basically robbed those
Hmm.
people.
So the rug pull, like basically a meme coin, but at a larger scale. Then.
Correct. I mean, that's why the exchanges are not safe. Um, that's the lesson to learn there. Then is to not keep your money on the exchange, because if you have your money on an exchange, uh, I mean, we've seen this in other places as well. Having it in nodes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Be careful where you put your money, because it might look like it's safe. It might look like it's accruing more money, and you might be thinking that you're chilling. But then one day you go to access it and you can't quite access it for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ah. See, this is where it gets like, this is where the old timey advice comes in. I'll never forget my dad. Oh, dad always said, the money is better in your pocket. The money is better in your pocket, not in the bank, not in this. The money is better in your pocket." But this is what I'm saying, because you're kind of, I don't know if it's, I guess it because we're moving since we're moving to a more digital world and stuff like that. It's kind of like that's becoming kind of like foreign. Because I'll be honest, like I can't even tell you the last time I carried cash, just because it's like I just don't use it. Like
You don't like keep any cash in your wallet or anything?
no, not on my person. Like it's just because it's kind of I've thought about it too that it's kind of like dumb, but it's just like the way like everything is set up for me. Like I just don't.
Do you like
I keep it.
use Apple Pay or something for a lot of things?
Yeah, I use Apple Pay for a lot of things. Like it's not that I what's up?
Do you get like is Apple Pay kind of like a credit card with cashback stuff, or how does that work?
Yes, the Apple Card is actually one of the better credit cards, honestly. Like because every time you use Apple Pay, you get 2% cash back.
Every time?
Yeah, if you use the Apple Card with Apple Pay, 2% every single time. So if you have like, for example, I don't know, purchase of $1,000, it'd be 1% of you get $20 back for that $1,000 purchase.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like if you buy something you'd like, right? Imagine buying a car with that. If you could, if you had the credit for it, think about it. Like you just got a 2% discount on your car extra. You go out to dinner, you go out to a vacation, you buy
Wait a second. I'm just thinking now.
what's
Like
up?
let's say you have a credit card and maybe you have like, I don't know, $1,000 on that credit card.
Hmm.
And if it's like 1% cash back, that's $10, right? So
Yes.
it would almost be more advantageous to use the credit card for like groceries and such and then pay it off because you would literally be saving like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? Like that's so I don't know why that didn't click exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
you get say your $100 in groceries, you get $2 back every time you pay that different card. And it see, but nobody wants to play those things because it's not big money. Like right, like it's
yeah,
stupid things like that. Like, but I could tell you for 100% fact with cash back rewards and stuff like that. Like I've made big purchases. I went to dinner afterwards with the
yeah,
cash back. Like why not? Like you get it's kind of like an extra little incentive just to use that. Mind you, I've been playing like the credit system and things like that. So it's just like to build because I was trying to be as well established as I could be, basically, in dealing with fiat because this is the system I'm in. Like I'm not gonna let it consume me either now. Like I have to learn to play with it. But looking at it with this, like with Bitcoin, it's a whole different ball game. So now, like my entire psychology has to change because now it's not about staying afloat because that's what it is with the fiat system. Like even with a job or anything like that, or a mortgage, like yeah, one bad month, one bad week, and you're done for
yeah.
most people.
Mhm.
And that's why like it's shown me how to like kind of shift gears and like think a little bit outside the box. And I got to thank you for that because it's like I wouldn't have considered it. Like when you talked about it, when you showed me Michael Saylor, and I started listening to him, and I like his takes too because he's smart. He's smart. He's kind of geeky. So it's like a cool mixture that he's got going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, his like micro strategies is tanking right now with Bitcoin.
Is it?
Oh, dude, yeah, within like the last couple months, it was at like $400. Now it's at 200 or something like that. So
Jesus.
it's been it's been tanking pretty bad. But I mean, I still think that he's got a lot of great things to say, and I think that the overall vision. I don't think he's going to rug pull Bitcoin. A lot of people think that he's going to rug pull Bitcoin. I don't think it's possible to rug pull Bitcoin because if you think you can rug pull Bitcoin, you don't understand Bitcoin. Like once you
That's
have
the
that
thing.
Bitcoin, it is your Bitcoin. Uh,
Yeah. It's like it's serialized basically. It's like it has its own serial number basically. It's yours.
yeah, I mean, if you have, let's say, you have 2 ounces of silver, or even just to make it simple, like 1 ounce of silver. That 1 ounce of silver is 1 ounce of silver always.
Yeah. That's
It's
what I'm.
yeah,
It's like that was the biggest. Like when I bought my first piece of silver, that was like as soon as I touched it, like it just clicked. I'm like, bro, this will always be this.
Yeah,
Like it never ceases to be that.
exactly.
Like,
It's
it's
it's the same thing with Bitcoin, just digital. Yeah,
and they, oh God, but that's why I'm saying, because Bitcoin becomes basically the progenitor for everything else. Like it's
correct.
and that's why it makes sense to me, because if we are going to move into the digital landscape, and this we have to start somewhere. Like, right, I'm not saying like basically, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like the egg of life and the flower of life, like it just scales out like that.
Mm,
I imagine. Oh my God, a Bitcoin Fibonacci sequence. Jesus, like I just started thinking about that all of a sudden. But yeah, no, it's just that there is no possible way. Like and it sounds like because, to be honest, I barely have any Bitcoin right now. I'm still trying to like transition out and like see how I'm going to do it to buy a considerable chunk, so that way like I get in. But just the fact that you can shift towards something that's decentralized, that nobody's got like, or nobody's got their hands in it, and that's scary though, because it's like it's scary not because of that, it's scary because of like what the people who are in charge of the fiat system would do, like you said.
yes.
Like that's this, like, like you said, hunting somebody down. Like you could reverse engineer to find the wallet address, and you could pinpoint exactly, and then boom, and you get caught and arrested for this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility down the line, perhaps. Not even like, do I think it's a big
yeah.
possibility? No, but it's a speculation that could be for sure. And I mean, why wouldn't they chase down people that have Bitcoin,
Yeah.
especially if the fiat system does collapse? I mean, we can only puff up the fiat system for so long before it just blows itself up anyway. And that's just the facts. It's like I'm not like hoping the system will burn down, but it's kind of already burned down. We just are pretending like it's not. And it's the same thing with our institutions. It's the same thing with our governments. It's
Yeah.
we're just letting the show go on because we don't really know what else to do. We're kind of like in the fog, right? Yeah, we're kind of in the fog. And what do you do when you're in the fog? You slow down a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yep.
like a meme. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah. When you don't really know where to go, like, how do you know where to go if you don't know which way you're facing? And
very true. We're completely disoriented.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So I think that, I mean, Bitcoin is at least a place, even though it's not tangible in the way that we think it is or ought to be, could be, uh, whatever you want to say there. Um, Even though it's not technically tangible, it's still providing like a way through the fog to some degree.
Because, oh my God, no, because I just thought about it. Because if you're completely disoriented, right? We just talked about it, because the idea is that it's decentralized currency, but there can't be, there has to be a center, and it moves towards you. When you don't know where to go, left, right, up, down, backwards, you sit down and you center yourself and start becoming and now it allows you to create your whole universe with a lot more freedom.
Yep. Yep.
And see, this is what I'm telling you. Like it's not something that you could just say, oh no, it's here. Like you can't touch it, but it's just like it really is, like just like, hey, like it just hits you all of a sudden. You get a flash and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh my God. See, and this is where I mean it's spiritually sound. And you said this, I don't know how many times, but it is spiritually sound because of this, because it forces you to put yourself back at the center point of everything. No
Yep.
longer are you going to sit here and go lopsided chasing interest and shit like that over there that's completely like disconnected from who you are. Because the fiat system encourages consumer culture, debt, spending, buying shit you don't need. I've never seen. You know what's the craziest thing that that I always see when I drive? Storage units. And
Why?
these things, because it's like, how much stuff can you possibly have? Like it could. It can only be like that's the thing, and these things actually like, and they're full
Well, did you
because
know
people
that?
keep trying. What's up? Go ahead.
Well, so I used to work for a company, and I did their digital marketing for it was a storage unit company. Bro, they were ranking, like raking in the dough. And what were they doing? Literally, it was just their service was like, come put your stuff over here in my stuff. Like that was their service. And I mean, apart from the actual owning the property, I've actually thought about, if I were to have like a business that could generate cash flowing assets, it would be a storage unit for sure. No question about it, because it would be super easy to maintain. I wouldn't be liable for a lot of things after there's certain, document signed. And if, as long as I have the security cameras, I have like all of everything in place, like as long as I'm good on my end, anything that happens to them, it's not going to be on me. So I'm going to have like, and I'm not hoping for that, of course, but that's,
Yeah, but
but that's just that's a business uh, opportunity for sure, of like how to generate cash flowing assets. Because dude, I saw their revenue. It's no joke. It's no joke,
but you
man.
see, but how much shit can you have? And that's the thing. That's where I always come back to. How much shit can you possibly have? I know we like owning things, but God, bro, a whole separate thing. Like,
Yeah.
and it's because people keep carrying around things. Because see, and this is the thing. It's just conditioning after being conditioning after conditioning after conditioning from generation to generation to generation. Oh, this was grandma stuff. This is valuable. Oh, no, this was mom stuff. This is valuable. And you keep finding more ways to store shit that's not worth anything. And seeing, but that kind of filters into like this into feeding into the fiat system because you're trying to hoard something and get something and acquire something that isn't worth anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why we're both like, what do I really need? I need food and gold and silver and like and Bitcoin. Like that's pretty much where I'm at anyway. I'm like,
But
I don't need
I'm
anything.
not. It's just it's like even when I thought about it, bro, your mortgage and your car payments are like the most crippling things. Man, I said I'm like the castle and the horse have gotten expensive. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
to the point and that is one of the biggest things that's hurting us is because we sit here and go try and and buy something and go pretend you buy something to show off to people who you don't even like.
Yeah. That's most
Ah,
people. Yeah. I mean, that's why I drive a 2006 Honda, because I don't give a crap. Like,
ah.
and it's great gas mileage and it's super reliable. So for the most part, yeah.
Hey, so long as it gets the job done. I'm a little worse. I drive a Corvette, but
Do you really? I didn't know you.
yeah.
I didn't know you drive a Corvette.
Yeah, it's an older one. It's an '08, but it's like a gas mileage doesn't bug me because I'm very close to work. So it's like it's just kind of like I always wanted to own one, and and I kind of saw it like as because I think it tops out at 186. I'm like, well, to get to 200, it's gonna be really expensive, and like it kind of does everything for what it is, and it kind of like I like it because it also kind of represents like in a sense America's pioneering spirit. Like, yeah, our interior sucks, but who gives a crap? We can go fast as hell.
That's
Like, and that's one of the most admirable things, honestly, about, for example, America. And it's just sad to see it all go to waste because we've lost principles and we lost like our way basically in trying to acquire all this consumer stuff. Because this really, I've always, even being from a first generation American, like I've always seen this country as like the North Star of the world. And
hmm.
like even people, every time I talk to people who have come from third world countries, and my dad and everything, everybody wants to come here, everybody, because it's the possibilities and the dreams that are here. Like, right, it's not, and that's the same thing. And I think that Bitcoin could pave the way for that to be a reality again. Honestly,
Hmm.
if it really is what it says it is, like at the fact that we could actually own things and it's our stuff, Can you imagine if the founding fathers came back and said we support Bitcoin and not fiat? Can you imagine
They
that?
probably would. They probably would.
Oh my God.
Once they figured out what a computer was, yeah.
Yeah, like if they actually understood what it all was, I think they would be like, yeah, what the hell is this shit we made that they made over here?
Hmm.
Like because it's again, it's the same. It's how what was it? I think yeah, it was in GoldenEye. It says the government's changed, but the lies stay the same. It's the same thing that happened right 200 plus years ago with the British and America being taxed to death and like nothing's yours. And
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing. And see, it's funny that all these things you can touch and see aren't yours, but the thing that you can't even see is yours. Like you said, that limit, it's this limited thing in this limitless space.
yeah. It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, it was a good conversation. I think we can start to wrap it up there.
yeah,
But I hope that this was a useful and insightful conversation for everybody else. Talking about all these different topics. We always have a lot of things to go through and to discuss, so that's always very pleasant. But
yeah.
I hope everybody stays blessed. Peace.
Peace.